we got problem. Check 1, 2. How about now? Do we got it? Do we got some sound? Do we? Paul? I see you say muted aliens. Yay, we got sound. Okay, we got sound. Let's do one more. Ahoy, crypto pirates. Welcome to your Discord Syndicates FN Hangout. I'm the captain, your Captain RG3, bringing it to you one more time. One more time. The FN Hangout. This is your stream. My producer, a wild SJ, was extremely busy today, hanging out with family, doing stuff for me, of course, and out to dinner this evening with family. So I'm in disheveled, but let me put this in here. That's the link in the chat room in case you want to come join us. We've already got people lining up in the green room, so we'll get to them in just a moment. But what I would like to do now that we have sound, that's why I went down there to double check. I want to say hello to the peeps, because you are all very, very important, because you are the last of the diehards. Those who haven't abandoned us OG caballers. I appreciate you still being around and still appreciating and trusting us that we are here to try and do good. We're here to try and make the world a better place. We're here to try and make Hex a better, the Hexican community a better community, the PulseChain community a better community. That's what we're all here for. And to make sick fucking money, period. I know that's what you're really all here for, is to make sick money. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You guys are really here for that. And you mask it behind all of this. What would you call it? A moral turpitude? Yeah. Moral turpitude argument. Guys, remember I always say there's nothing new under the sun, and everything old is new again. Everything old is new again. It's funny. It's so funny. Like the old griffs that they played on us in 2008, and they even played back in the 70s and 80s. They're coming back, and you guys are acting like they're new griffs. You're just getting slapped down by the same old shit. Everything old is new again, and nothing new under the sun. Human beings aren't any better, aren't any smarter than they've ever been. Just thought I'd let you guys know that before you think so highly of all of yourselves and your grifters out there. All right. Paul Sachs, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Melv Tony, everybody, you got to go follow Melv Tony on the Twitters. So you got to dive into that cesspool that is Twitter and go find Melv Tony and go follow him, because he's throwing the numbers out there and doing work for you guys. Always doing work here. Always appreciate him. Melv Tony, my man. Sandy B the dude, what's up, man? How you doing? What's up, gang? Who else is in here? Alan Fizami. I read what you said, Alan. So Alan's going to try and get himself putting time out, and then so he can go to bed. That's what he's doing. So he's going to try and insult me this evening in the chat room, saying something about my age or my T-share presentation or something. Yep. I know what your thing is. I know. Sandy Beach, my lady. Welcome. Good to have you as always. Who else? This looks like all the regulars. 100 people stopped by so far. Decisions. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Greylock? Good to have you here. Yeah, I won't be here long. I'm aiming to get timed out. Yep, I saw that. And Mel Tony says, thanks to all the Hexicans for his support on Twitter. And of course, we put the link in there, guys. So again, if you don't know what the show is your show. You can actually come in here and participate, be in the show. The link is right there. That's where you enter. Let's see. Knoxville. Hey, welcome. Good to see you. By the way, I was on Instagram doing behind the scenes before the show. I've been doing like behind the scenes so people can see what's going on and maybe bring some folks from Instagram over here. They say ahoy every time I check on that. His hex bags are sold. Now I'm going to make you do better than that. That didn't hit me in the feels. Alan, that's weak. You got to stay up for a little while longer. Hex Futures, what's happening? All right, everybody. Good to see you all. Who else is in here? I don't see anybody. Any questions? Can we hit the mute again? There, now you're getting closer. You're getting closer, Alan. You're getting closer. Oh, let's see. I love your new hair extensions, Captain. Is this the famous golden age guy? All right, that did it. You're gone. You are in timeout. You're in timeout. Hey, we got to make sure that Dorsey didn't get banned. I think we got to unban Dorsey. We got to make sure that didn't go. I don't know if SJ went and got him back out or not. Milton, thank you, RG, for the props. The community appreciate you. I appreciate you and the community. J Future, check. What's up? Okay, that's everybody. Was banned and their comments were removed. See, why does it keep saying banned? It said timeout when I pushed the button. I hope it didn't ban you. Then I have to go back and unban too. But thanks for the memberships for 22 months, Sandy Beach, and and my boy Alan, who we just may have banned from the show. Appreciate it. Look at that Bitcoin back up to 60K. Wonder why it's doing what it's doing. This is going to be cool because one of the gentlemen that's showing up in here, we're going to be able to have some good intellectual conversations about some of the things that are going on. I always like his insight. He's a very intelligent young man and cut from the same cloth. Let's see. Let me pull him up here. All right, everybody. That's it. This is your FN Hangout. So come on in, come join us, jump on the link there and get in on the conversation. Is your EHEX price prediction still 10 cents? I never put a price prediction of 10 cents up there. I'd love to see it at 10 cents. I think it should be sitting around 3 cents. This bottom is the bottom as far as I'm concerned. I think it should. I think combined hexes should be about 3 cents right now, which they're not, but that's where I think they should be. As far as my analysis goes, but I think there's price points and floors and targets, and I think 3 cents is a big target. I think 12 cents is a big target. I think somewhere around 23 to 28 cents is a big target, and then after about 28 cents, sky's the limit. I think those are the marks we have to get through. Those are the jumps we have to have through the bull market to see it really move. I think 3, 12, somewhere between 23 and 28. And then after 28, boom, 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 baby. It just starts clicking, 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents, 40, 50, 60, right? It just goes. All right, everybody. From the DGen Roundtable, we have Will Stevenson. What's happening, buddy?
Well, aloha, amigo. I saw you put your sunglasses on. I was like, oh, this is going to be a sunglasses stream then, isn't it? What's up, bro?
These are my Burning Man desert goggles is what they are.
Oh, snap. You're going to Burning Man in the very near future? I heard another one of our mutual friends talking about that.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I
hope you guys have
I was
an excellent time.
Asked to go for many years. Different groups of people have asked me to go. And when Kool-Aid and my other friend Cosmic Cowboy, who's another Hexican, they pressured me and I went last year. And last year was the big what do you call it, the big flood. So it was a natural disaster there.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we had 80,000 people, and so they call it the playa, the desert where it's at, this big flat dry lake. The clay there, the dirt, the dry lake itself is very, very strange material. Like it's dusty. It's not sandy at all. It's like a clay, right? Imagine an old dried up lake, right? So this stuff is like very, very dusty, very, very, it doesn't come out of anything. Like everything that I had out there last year still has that dust on it. You can't get it off. In fact, the RV I rented, RV Share has banned me from renting RVs from them because of the condition that thing was in when we brought it back. So anyway, the mud there got so bad when it rained that it was a natural disaster. It was just horrible. You couldn't get a vehicle in and out of there. You could hardly walk around out there. They couldn't get emergency services or, pumpers for the porta potties or any of that stuff. So it was basically a natural disaster. Everybody's power was out except for ours. We had an amazing freaking guy putting the power together. So we had power all the way to the end. It was wild. This dude was out there. They called him Android, and he was laying out the power grid. And I've been in industry, the construction industry for a long time. I'm looking at what this guy's doing. I'm like, this guy's going way overboard, like putting this stuff together. He was waterproofing everything. All the plugs were waterproofed, and he did all this trick stuff to everything, and had all these different protectors in between all the stuff to the generator. But damn it, when we were all underwater in the playa there, our power still worked. The only thing that happened is we ended up having to conserve, turn it off and turn it on because we were running out of fuel. But other than that, we had power the whole time during the disaster because of this guy. So anyway, it was my first time out there, and but I still had such an amazing time that I had to go back. So I'm going back, and it's going to be.
Well, it's all downhill from there, right? Like you can't get
any worse, right?
Natural disaster. And I mean, I presume you still had a good time out there while this natural disaster was happening.
Oh, it was great. It was great. It was so much more than I thought. I thought it was just going to be a big hippie party fest, and which it is. Don't get me wrong. There's a bunch of naked hippies having a party there. Yes. There's so much more going on with art and entertainment and instruction, like all kinds of different, classes that you can go to, seminars that you can go to, people gifting stuff. That's just, everything from, you name it. I mean, there was a whole pirate village there, I mean, it was just, AA meetings, like, in the middle of the desert where everybody's doing drugs and drinking. There's AA meetings in there.
Fucking A, bro.
They got it all. It had everything, and it was a city of 80,000 people just put up in a matter of weeks and then tore down afterwards, and leave no trace is one of their tenets. And that's what they do every year. They have to make sure they don't leave anything out. So it's a big deal if you drop any trash or anything. Everything you haul in, you haul out. So it was just so cool to be in that environment with those kinds of people. 80,000 people just trying to get along, give to one another, have a good time. No sizing people up, no fighting, no arguing and bickering. It's like you do you. It was just a real cool atmosphere. And, even though it was hippy dippy, I enjoyed it thoroughly. I grew up with hippie parents. Like my parents were like real hippies, like real hippies. Like they took the captain to No Nukes concerts and freaking bluegrass festivals and Dead concert. That's what I did when I was a kid. I followed my hippie mom and dad around all over the place, going to these, hippie events. Yeah, it was crazy in the 70s. My parents were just, crazy, but it was, I wanted to run as far away from fucking hippies as I could as I got older. Right. So, but going back out there and being around it's just a really cool experience. I would suggest, everybody giving it a shot and going out there and doing it one time at least. Just to check it out and be part of the action that goes on out there. Very, very cool.
I do hear that it's like a strange way to live. There's something like I've never gone myself, so everything that I know about it is all like hearsay and whatnot. But I've heard that like people don't use money out there. Like the only thing that people spend money on is ice. Everything's basically just like trade and barter and given for free, and like it's all just about hanging out, having fun, and like trying to have a good time, and then also like make friends and influence people and sort of thing. So sounds like a nifty time, bro.
Yeah. So we're going to so the camp that we stay at, we're going to actually build a tech center for that camp and provide the art that we're going to provide. There is going to be free NFTs to everybody that shows up. I'm doing a nice talk, a radical self-reliance through decentralized finance is going to be my talk. So I'm going to do that talk at the camp, and we're going to next year actually have a tech center there, Burning Man Tech Center. So we'll be talking blockchain and we might be even get the comms going for local within the camp there. It's funny, you can triangulate signals like a Wi-Fi signal. I'm not sure exactly all the technical jargon of it all, but you can bounce comms and use cell phones as nodes and create a network, a communications network by
Yeah,
bouncing cell phone technologies off of one another.
I've seen walkie-talkies that do a similar thing where they don't have like a central send and receive place. It's like
Yeah.
each device participating is one more like part that strengthens the network. That's pretty cool, bro.
Yeah, so we're gonna do some stuff like that. Maybe even put emergency drones there to get emergency services to people. Coordinate the whole, because the playa, the Burning Man grid is gridded off. It's like you got a clock, and then you have streets that are lettered and
Yeah.
numbered, and
Yep.
so you can literally program that whole area and program a drone to take emergency services, Narcan, or maybe even a defibrillator or whatever to that location within a minute, like boom, and then drop it off right in the place that it needs to be. So we're going to do some cool
Cool as
stuff
hell.
like that, put a tech center together with some emergency services on it, and put a couple of Starlinks on it so people can come and suck off some free Wi-Fi or whatever, because you don't get anything there. So anyway.
That's pretty neat, bro. That sounds like a good ass fucking plan. I like this. You guys aren't just going there to freaking get high and dance around. It's like setting up
No,
a
no,
real
no.
like proper. Well, maybe some of the folks in your party are, but like
Yeah.
that's like a super stand up like system you got going on there. That's pretty
Yeah,
neat.
yeah. Well, the captain don't partake in the drinky. I got my what are they? My non-alcoholics here.
Or
My
duels or whatever.
O'Douls.
Yeah, I'm
Anyway.
drinking. I got some Polar sparkling
Mm,
water and some Soleil as
I
well.
love those. I love those.
Yeah,
This is
Polars
a
are
cloth
Polars are
follow.
all right. They're a little bit too like bubbly for me, so I gotta pour them in a glass before I drink them because it's just
They
like
do fizz.
way fucking carbonated. Yeah, like look at all that crap.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, look at us here fucking talking about our talking about our non-alcoholic drinks.
Got to
Yeah,
keep sharp. Got to keep sharp.
yo,
Let's see. Oh,
I don't
look, we
want
got
to take over your show, but I love your topic of conversation. I'm ready to blast off into that whenever is appropriate.
Yeah, let's go ahead and start. Let's see.
Richard Hart's not gonna save you. Who are you gonna take to battle?
So my I always take a macroeconomic look at my life, because all
Yeah.
that's really important to me when it comes to my finances is me and my family and how they're going to
Mhm.
be affected. And when I see writing on the wall, I go, okay, well, what am I going to do? How am I going to adjust for what's coming? And for instance, back in the day when I had my 401k, when I was a younger man, I saw, politics and things going a certain way. And I said, well, looks like we're going to be heading this direction. So I'm going to move my high risk assets from the tech sector to the oil sector, from the oil sector to the tech sector, a little bit in the medical. So I would dabble in my 401k and moving assets around just to get better returns. And it worked for me. It worked. So I was like, okay, I'm going to keep looking at these macro geopolitical moves and adjust accordingly. And it has served me well. It has served me well. Now I'm not saying that there wasn't pitfalls and things didn't happen, like the C-19 thing and the 2007 2008 housing crash, and those debacles, and the big inflation debacle here that we've been dealing with. I'm not going to say that those unforeseen pitfalls didn't affect me, because they did. But I was able to manage by looking at things in a macroeconomic view. And I don't see that too much in crypto. I see people looking to fantasy scenarios to make money for themselves. And then what I usually end up seeing is these things failing them, and them working at McDonald's or getting a job. And that's not what I came here for. I traded my spine for dollars, and I'm paying the price for that, for working out there for 30 years. So I've paid my dues, and
Yep.
crypto is has changed what that end result of that 30 years looks like, of course, because now it's monster amounts uh, 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 you know, wealth gathered here in the crypto space. But look at what you got there.
I just saw Paul Sachs mention red and black bandana, so I'm going to throw on my red and black bandana as well. Keep going.
What are your gang signs, Captain? Oh, red and black bandana.
This is all Dia de los Muertos stuff. You know, this is all the.
Yeah, this is just pirate colors. I don't wear red. I don't wear red. I don't wear red. Just let everybody know that I don't. Oh, and they're not cornrows. These are actual like dreadlock extensions. So I have my hair is it's probably about 9 inches now, 9 inches. And it was getting long. I was ponytailing it. And so I went in to go get braids for Burning Man. I'm like, hey, I want to get my hair braided. And the lady there, she's from, oh gosh, where's she? I probably shouldn't. I think she's Barbados. Just really good at what she does. She said, hey, I want to put dreads in your hair. I think you'd look great with dreads. You should put dreads in your hair. And I was like, well, I just want to kind of put the braids in for Burning Man. So she talked me into it, and I went with it, and I dig them.
That's a good look, bro. I like that.
Fun. They're a lot of fun. So yes, I do have dreadlocks, not braids. And now my hair is all locked up. So the hair that I had is all, the way they do it is they weave it in, and then as it grows out, they lock your hair. They keep locking your hair. You go in and they, thread it and whatnot and lock it. And now it's insta locked. So now my hair just locks up and I got dreadlocks growing.
That's pretty cool, man. How long are you gonna keep them for, you think? Is this a rest of your life decision?
Well, until they bug me, until they bother me, until I get sick of them or whatever, I'll take them out. It's just like a haircut. Not coming, probably saying that to you doesn't matter, but yeah, it's just like a haircut.
I'm all out of hair, bro. My hair days are over. I got those no hair genes. So I committed to bald basically for the rest of my life. I had a short period of time where I was doing a little Warhawk Mohawk strip for about 4 years, but then it started going like back in the middle, and I was like, fuck, 30 years old. Oh well, I guess this is the way that it goes. So
well, but you got one of those heads that looks good bald. Like my head, thank God I have hair, because if I was bald, like forget about it. Like you, and that somebody called you Andrew Tate.
Oh yeah, that happens occasionally.
I bet. Yeah, you do. Not to insult you or anything, but whatever. You do have that same look.
He stole my look.
He stole your look.
Yeah. There's a lot of bald guys with beards.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. But you can wear it. I can't. I look like, oh my gosh, it's horrible. It is horrible. Mm-hmm. No facial hair, bald. Forget it. Sandy Beach says bald is beautiful. Remember that.
Bald is beautiful. Oh, thank you, Sandy Beach. It's very kind of you. Get me right in the feels.
What's up, Swearworks? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you.
Swearworks. I know that name from somewhere. What did he do? Have we spoken?
Swearworks is OG, bro. Like Swearworks is from like day one community. Swearworks has been around forever. Like he's just been a supporter of all the streams. Me, Hexo, you name it. I mean, he's just an OG's OG. Doesn't ever get himself in any controversy or anything. Well, he's a smart ass, but he's good. Swearworks is the shit.
That's the smart thing to do, is to avoid the controversy in the space. Just do nothing but positivity and make good things. There's no point making enemies. We have no enemies, because our enemies are the people that are trying to take the
day one AA, actually. Yeah. So we were all
shit, look at that.
That means that he bought the top in the beginning. That's what he's saying. Day one OG. I only missed it because I kind of accidentally screwed up and missed day one. I would have probably bought two, but I didn't.
I missed the first 1,000 days, bro. I probably would have FOMO'd in like crazy on day one or some shit. I know how I am.
It was stupid. Hey, what's up, JFK 666? How you doing? We're all doing good here, man. Good to see you. Let's see. Oh, Crypto King the Padusa. He's in the chat room too. We got all the OGs coming in here, jumping in. The Cabal, I should say. The Cabal.
Yeah. So you're the title of your video, Richard Hart won't, or at least the thumbnail, right? Richard
Yeah.
Hart won't save you. Who will you bring to battle? This is a good topic that I think needs to be discussed more. A lot of people are all relying on Richard Hart to pump the bags. A lot of people are relying on Richard Hart to do this, that, and the other thing. It's like Richard Hart's going to do this, he's going to do that. Like, it's kind of foolish. We understand that Richard Hart is a cool guy who made some cool things, and he's interested in these cool things, like winning and doing well on their own. But like, he's not here to do the work for you to make you rich because you bought some fucking coin and waited around. You know,
he's doing the big stuff.
He's doing the big stuff.
Yeah.
This is something I also think about. Like, if we all end up winning and whatever, and we all go down to Hexaco, as Black Sheep says, we all go down to Hexaco. Like, what are the people going to do with their time? It's not just going to be a whole bunch of rich people living on an island. It's like, you've got to do stuff with your time, bro. Like, you got to sit there and, like, I don't know, dig ditches or hunt deers or, you know, stitch up wounds or clean teeth.
Somebody's going to have to stitch up the wounds of the people out there beating each other's ass. That's what's about to happen.
Exactly. We're gonna have cats like picking oranges. We're gonna have people herding camels. You know, we're gonna have like Dr. Hexologist, like Sami's talking about, giving prostate exams and things. Like, there's gonna be all sorts of shit that needs to happen. And like, in order for like a little tribe or a little culture to work, there has to be a whole bunch of people doing things. And like, generally that leads into, you know, people having jobs. And then people having jobs leads to them in like being unhappy with their wages and yada yada. And then they go chasing riches and they find themselves in crypto. It's like, get away from the job stuff. But it's like, what do you want to do with your time if you get rich? And then on your way to getting rich, you probably shouldn't rely on some rich billionaire, you know, like guy in the sky dropping down magical coins to make the money rain and do other things. So I want to hear your thoughts. Like, what got you thinking about this particular topic, that Richard Hart's not going to save you?
Well, I think that it's about, you know, I know people are coming back into the space that have kind of disappeared over the last, you know, couple years of the bear market. And they're coming back and it's like, okay, now get to work, you know, put your work in. Now, whether you're Richard Hart Hex maximalist, or you're a PulseChain maximalist, or you're, you know, a developer that wants to put things on PulseChain, you know, go do your thing, you know, do you, and let everybody else do them also. You know, everybody do those. There's like a term in Burning Man. It's like, you do you. Like, I'm cool. You do you. You know, like, you don't have to. I don't have to force you into anything or convince you to do anything. You know, you do you, and I'm gonna do me. Let me be me. And I think that that's kind of like what I'm trying to say here is like, look, Richard's not coming to regulate anybody in this space. He never has. He never will. He'll speak his piece when he thinks that something's out of line or stupid or ridiculous or whatever. And you can take that or leave it. You know, he's not the ultimate authority around here, or in crypto or anything for that matter. Does he have some good advice? Yeah. But fuck, the kid's, you know, 10, 15 years younger than me. He's, as far as I'm concerned, he's got some things to learn too. So, you know, everybody does their thing. So it's not about Richard. It's about, what are you doing? You know, how are you making this a better place? How are you making the world better through crypto here? What are you going to do to take the tools that we've got now? Because the dude's a genius and gave us some badass tools to work with. What are you going to do with that? Or are you just going to sit down, shut the fuck up, and you know, make gains off of what he's done or whatever? And that's fine too, you know. But if you're a community member and you're out here, you know, being loud, then get some shit done. Let's go. You know, let's do some stuff. And so that's kind of what I'm saying is, like, don't depend on Richard to come back and make it happen. You make it happen. You know, get out there and make it happen.
And a lot of that is like onboarding, spreading the word, using the stuff, letting other people know that this stuff exists and it can be used and they can use it if they want to. You do you, that whole sort of thing. I like the whole expect to self-rescue, no one is coming, like, mindset. It's like, if you're off hiking in the woods and, you know, you fall off a cliff or whatever and you break your leg, it's like, okay, how are you going to get yourself out of the situation? Because no one's fucking coming. Like, the people that rely on others to come and save them, they're the ones that like die more often than the ones that do something about it. Is my understanding.
Mm-hmm. So ARH is PulseChain fail? I don't know quite what that means, but absolutely yes.
Well, he puts up a very compelling argument. You know, he's he's used a lot of thought, and he's really like written this out, and he's put a lot of time and effort into this. So this is some words that I got to take very seriously here.
Yeah,
Is PulseChain
come on
fail?
in and discuss this with us. So that's why I put the
Absolutely,
link
yes.
is there. Come on in and discuss it with us. We'd love to have a conversation with you. This
Oh
is
yeah,
Discourse Syndicate, meaning that we're not here to bully you, bang on you, but we would like to have an intelligent conversation with your thoughts. And those words probably mean you have some thoughts. So come on in and join us and let's talk about it.
that would be interesting. How often do you get people that are disagreeable but like polite or something?
Zero. They don't usually come. Every
Yeah.
once in a while. More so people will come in and start talking shit about each other on the, within the
Keyboard
community.
warriors. Yeah.
they'll want to, blast each other. But usually we don't have outside people coming in, which was what it was set up for, was to talk to outside people, have discourse about, Hex and Richard and all that stuff. But we didn't get too much of that. In the beginning, we had a few that did try and come and have some intellectual battles. And, Richard slayed some of them on this show. The rest of the members of the shows that we've had on here slayed them too. Hexicans, I think that they learned quickly that we knew our shit and that they weren't going to, waylay us, and that we had our ducks in a row on top of, having Richard's products behind us. Like, for instance, this gentleman made a statement, and I don't know exactly what he was trying to say, but it sounds like he said PulseChain failed. And that's not true. That is 100% not true. PulseChain is a success. It is a fork of Ethereum. It was to reduce fees, and it was to increase the capacity, viability, all the things that Ethereum was. It was to throughput. It was supposed to improve Ethereum, and it did. He did that. Now, market and price action has absolutely nothing to do with PulseChain looking like a failure. Now, if you want to say that because of price action that it has failed, then that has to be spread all around the whole crypto space, because the whole crypto space has failed right now. The only thing that's up is Bitcoin.
There's context. Yeah.
And, that's because we know where we're at. We're after the halvening. BlackRock dumped a bunch of money in. We had some movement on Bitcoin. That's where we're at. Rest of the bull market hasn't kicked in. We still have an election looming that has been flip-flopping. See, I think another thing that people don't look at macroeconomically is that these politics this year have a lot to do with where the economy is going to go. And it has nothing to do with whether it's going to be bad or good. It has everything to do with what direction it's going to go. Where is the money going to flow? If it goes into this one side over here in this party, there's certain groups of people that are very, very wealthy that back this side of the aisle. If it goes the other direction, then there's a very wealthy group of people that back this other side of the aisle. And you have to understand that that's what you have to adjust your life to. You can sit here and scream and yell and throw shit at the wall and eat it and bark at the moon and all that stuff, but you're not going to change your lot in life. You have to adjust with the times and adjust with the environment that you're going to be in. I don't care how mad you get. If, one party or the other wins the election, the money is going to flow that way. And we just saw an example of that. And if you weren't paying attention, the money was going a certain direction for a while. And somebody was winning by a massive amount of points. And money was flowing that direction. What happened? That got switched up. And all of a sudden, momentum changed. And what happened? The money got yanked out of the stock market. The bottom fell out of it that very week, of all things. That very week, instead of pumping like it was, it dumped. and it readjusted, and now it's moving again because it thinks that the money's going somewhere else now. You have to look at that as a human being that lives in this environment, here in the States especially. You've got to look at your lot in life and where you're going to end up, and how are you going to adjust? How are you going to be part of that? Again, this is on you. You can sit here and be pissed off about whatever direction it's going all you want, but if you're not getting up off your ass and doing something to better your life and go in the direction it's going, like I said, when I thought that things were going in a tech direction, I had my money in tech. When I thought I saw war looming, I saw some hawks getting put into positions of power, I moved over to the freaking oil and aerospace industries. And I did well each time I moved and pivoted. And that's what you basically got to look at. Where is the money going to go? Where is it coming from? Who's going to be treated best? Those that are going to be treated best are where the direction you want to aim your life in so that you can make money off of it. And that's all we can do as investors, or as in, people who are of investment age, get a job, work still, but hey, invest. Because I don't know where crypto is going to go now. I don't know where. It's very confusing to me as to where crypto is going to go. If this election goes the way I think it's going to go, crypto could have a hard time. And I don't know if it's going to be centralized crypto that has a hard time, or all of crypto has a hard time, or there's some kind of a split and DeFi does well and centralized crypto doesn't. I don't know. There's some very up in the air things right now. And I don't think you could put all your eggs in the crypto basket.
It doesn't. Well, you can't eat crypto. There is that. That's something for the hopes at home to consider. You can't eat a Bitcoin. That's always been something that's amused me. Like, you can't eat a dollar just as much as you can't eat a Bitcoin, just as much as you can't eat a house. And the inconvenient thing about the cryptocurrency is that the on-ramps and the off-ramps are just so damn confusing for the brand new folks into the space that it's a super difficult barrier. So I wonder, like, what kind of on-ramp and off-ramp technology will increase as we move forward in time, or if it's just going to be a whole lot more centralized exchanges type of deal, like more people hopping on Binance and Coinbase and Kraken and all that stuff, and using that to get into and out of the cryptocurrency world. But there are things that are valuable in the world that are, valuable aside from cryptocurrency. And I think that a lot of people this cycle probably plan to take the money out of the crypto world and put it in the traditional world, maybe not necessarily traditional finance, but something that like generates products and services for people that people want and then can trade dollars for, and things that we can use to live off and subsist by. I'm curious to see where that leads us.
Yeah, so I've been contemplating that.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about the real estate one, Yeah,
well, the on-ramp, off-ramp of crypto. So if this thing goes the way this election goes the way I think it's going right now, which it's got a lot of momentum, there's still 80 something days left before they pull the trigger on the whole thing. Then there's going to be some kind of play here against crypto somehow, some way, either through favorable legislation that regulates it in a certain way or gives it rules and tracks to run on. And we all know what happens there. The money, when you look at who's putting the money out there, the biggest super PAC has 203 million. Is that what it is? $203 million in it, crypto super PAC. And that's Coinbase's super PAC. That's a lot of money. And that's some influence there. So Coinbase has done it, guys. The way Coinbase goes is the way crypto is going to go. So look at that. Keep a close eye on that. That's what I'm watching. That's who I'm looking, who's backing, who's behind all of that. There's
Coinbase's Circle, right? Owned by Circle. It's
what's his name? Andreessen Horowitz.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Hang on, let me look this up while we're.
Yeah.
But anyways, a lot of it's in Coinbase, you were saying.
Well, Coinbase is the one who has the big super PAC.
And
of course it's dark money. They can move it in, move it out, and do all that good stuff because Citizens United allows them to do so. So we'll never know kind of like where all that's going or what it's going to. But the direction that Coinbase goes is more than likely going to be the direction that crypto goes. And we'll have to keep a close eye on that because this guy has got power now in politics because of that. And I've been screaming this for the last few years that we need to come together. We need to put super PACs together. We need we need to bring the numbers. And this DeFi space is so full of fucking new pirates that we haven't been able to put a single group together that can stand each other for more than 5-6 months. And the only people that are really doing it are people like this who have money that are doing it on their own. He's doing this on his own. He's getting backers. And there's some other funny business shenanigans going on. And you got to start putting the pieces together. But between Thiel, Elon Musk, the new VP for the Trump campaign, Vance, they're all connected and they all got something going on. And now Trump Jr. dumped on Trump coin, and now they've got a new coin of their own coming out. We saw all that happening too. So something's happening in the crypto space over there where we've got multiple hands in the cookie jar, and we've got some strange things coming out from not Citizens United, from what's that think tank? The Heritage Foundation. The Heritage Foundation is putting out a roadmap of what they want politics to look like. This all affects crypto. People need to understand that this all affects crypto. So this Project 2025 is really connected to all this stuff and all of these people. The tech bros being Elon and Peter Thiel and the Trump folks. All these people are connected, but I don't see how they organize together because I don't think that this $200 million super PAC is connected to all of it. And that's what I was checking to see, because if that's a war chest that's going to one side or the other, that's huge. That's a huge war chest to help one side or the other out. So it's the three words. Hold on, I'm going to see what Moondog said. 3 carbon credit group. Escalation of Operation Choke Point from throttle to Trojan horse takeover. Okay, Choke Point. Operation
Choke Point. Yeah.
I'm going to have to take a look into all of that stuff. Thanks, Moondog. I will take a look at some of that because I'm doing a lot of research trying to find out, because I was in DC. I was talking to active or super PACs and PACs that were made for crypto, and none of them had their heads screwed on right. That was right before the FTX debacle, so they were all backing SBF.
Oh man.
Because he was throwing money all over the place over there. So all those super PACs were filled with his money. And so they were, because there were so many of them and the money was flowing, it was going to all the different politicians. So there was no rhyme or reason where it was going. I think that it was all going like, hey, all of you lean into centralized exchanges and get us regulated so that we can take over and get rid of DeFi. And that's when I was like, what? Get rid of DeFi? What are you guys on, dope? What are you guys thinking?
Hold on.
Why DeFi? We're trying to get rid of centralized exchanges, but no, they were all for the centralized exchanges. And I think that, in my opinion, that's where this $200 million is going to be looking to go, is getting regulation for them. And how are they going to do it? Who are they going to get to side with them with that 200 million? And it's going to spell the death for one side or the other, or whoever gets in their way is what it's going to do. So need to keep an eye on that. I'm really proud of what's his name, Denton, for going after Elizabeth Warren. He's doing a great job. I love the fight that he's putting up for crypto. But I hate to say it, but he's not going to win that election. He's just not. She's like a 20-year incumbent in a state that favors her politics. And he's a crypto bro. And sorry, it's just not
Sometimes it's
popular.
sometimes it's not about winning the election quite so much as it is like forming like a foundation upon which like we can build stories and like and spread, you know, information. It's like libertarian candidates for presidency, right? They know they're not going to win, but they need to run in order to get like their speaking points across, so that way
Bro,
they can change like 5% of the population into like 6%, or they can
where
like sway the minds of a couple people, you know.
it's been the same amount of people for the last 50 years trying to do that.
Yeah.
I've been
Well,
watching.
I use the libertarians as an example of just like ineffective, like basically people that know that they're going to lose the race, but they're still running so that they can tell the story and get eyeballs on the topic du jour or
Well,
whatever it
all
may
they've
be.
ever been used for is spoilers. That's all they've
Yeah.
ever been used for is spoilers.
Yep.
From Ross Perot, which was one of the spoilers, to Bernie Sanders, to you name it, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Yep.
right now. They're all just spoilers. And that's, unfortunately, that's what we have as a two-party deal. And I want everybody to understand something else. I want everybody to really understand this. You do not have the right to vote. You
Yep.
don't have a right to vote. You
Comes
don't
from
have
violence.
a word. You look in the Bill of Rights, all it says is the state has the ability to decide how their electors are chosen, and the president is chosen by the electors of the state. The state has control of the elections. If the state wanted to and got enough support behind it, they can do away with voting altogether and say, hey, we're just going to do it this way. Everybody agree? Yeah, let's just do electors. Let's just do, the Arizona electors are going to go to this or that or whatever. And it can be done because we don't have a constitutional or Bill of Rights right to vote. And that's a sad, sick, crazy truth to speak, but it is the truth. And a lot of people don't know that. But I think that it's time for everybody to start realizing what direction this is all going to go, and trying to figure out what the play is going to be and how we're all going to support that. Because no matter what, I want to make the world a better place with decentralized finance. And whatever group of political folk are in power, I want to do my best to get in front of them and let them know what we are all doing out here, what Richard has done, what we have all done, what the developers of all the decentralized exchanges have done, what the people who have developed decentralized cryptos on top of PulseChain have done. I want to make sure that that word gets out to them, and that they don't try and hurt or crush people like us, normal people like us. Like we're not tech billionaires or trying to, overthrow the dollar. And, we're normal working people out here trying to make things happen, trying to make the world a better place. And we know that we can make the world a better place because we have a better way of doing finance. And we just want to show them that. And that's what I want to do. And that's what I'm trying to adjust to. And, while everybody else is playing the game out there and putting their head in the sand and all that kind of shit, I'm looking at reality, man. I'm not gonna be surprised when this thing's over with. When this thing's over with, I've got my plan in place already. I'm gonna be 3 months ahead of all of you because I know what's happening, and I'm gonna be ready for it. And once again, the motherfuckers are gonna be screaming and crying, and I'm gonna have to fucking wipe up the tears, like I've been wiping up the tears this whole bear market with most of these motherfuckers that didn't listen, that didn't do the right thing, that over leveraged themselves, or got in and thought that they can quit their jobs early. All of you folks that did that stupid shit, I've been wiping your tears up off of the ground. And and I'm taking some heat for talking like this, but I just want to be real with you people because I care. I'm not going to be a guy that's going to come up here and show you a chart and candy coat things or FUD things or do any of that shit. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to try and tell you to make some good, rational decisions. And we do have something very, very bitchin' and cool. But as cool as this thing is, we've got people that are fighting against us, that don't want us to exist, that don't understand what we're trying to do here. And if we don't get that message out, if we don't get out in front of these people and explain to them what we're trying to do, then this is all for naught. And I don't have time for that. So that's why I'm being harsh with everybody. You know, oh, RG, you changed.
Who are you,
You know, and
take
you say all this stuff, and you got dreadlocks in your hair now. Yeah, well, you should change too, probably. And everything changes. People change. Life changes. Crypto changes. Blockchains change. You need to change. So, hey, we got somebody else coming in here. I don't think that I know who it is. I can't see real good with these things on. Let me pull them up. Ladies and gentlemen, we got another. What's up, Glenn?
Aloha, Glenn.
Glenn? Do we have
We
no
cannot
audio.
hear you, good sir.
We can't hear you, Glenn. Fix your audio. You got something? No audio yet.
Got nothing. Keep
Got
trying.
nothing.
Keep trying the sound check.
Keep trying to sound check us. We will wait.
I like the direction.
Hello?
Oh, we got
Can you
you
hear
now,
me?
Glenn. What's up, bro?
We got you now.
Yes, we can hear you.
Ooh.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello.
Go ahead.
How's it going? What's up, Glenn? Who are you? Welcome to the FN Hangout. Have you been on the stream before?
No.
There's
Oh,
the first
very
thing.
nice.
Good to have you, Glenn.
stuff.
Thanks for coming by.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Glenn. How'd you find your way over here to this here FN Hangout?
Are you watching YouTube, Glenn, or are you watching the stream that you're on?
YouTube.
Turn off YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Turn off the YouTube and go to the StreamYard, because the YouTube's going to be about 8 seconds after what we're talking about over here. We have an 8-second delay for every little bit of the conversation.
Yeah.
This is good. We do it live, ladies and gentlemen.
Live YouTube right here, live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you
Are you
go.
in the?
I have like 30 tabs open.
Sounds real good. Too.
Oh, the tab monster. Oh no, you're one of those folks. Me too. I'm not. I can't lie. I've got. I think probably about 15 tabs open right now.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, yeah.
Tabs.
Feel free to close me out if I'm.
I think
you're doing all right. You're doing all right, brother. I was just gonna ask you, like, how long you been in the space? Where'd you come from? How'd you find the FN Hangout? How'd you get over
up here?
Dark corner of the internet.
I think he's still delayed.
Quite possibly.
Hello.
So,
possibly.
Glenn, whenever you hear this, switch over to the StreamYard tab and turn off the audio on the YouTube
I
tab.
hear StreamYard Studio.
There you go.
Yep.
And then turn off YouTube.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, sweet.
Now you got
Good.
us real time.
There we go.
All right,
That's-
sweet.
RG,
Hell yeah.
you're
Thanks, Glenn. Good to have you. Thanks for bringing the show to a screeching halt. Appreciate you.
That's my job.
What's going
What's
on,
up,
man?
amigo?
What brought you over
I
here?
mean, in my real life, I'm trying to find real stuff that's missing. I don't know. But anyway, I like you guys.
Excellent.
I'm
you
not
too,
a big
bro.
talker, so
So you
I'm just
jump
trying
on
to-
a talking stream and you're not a big talker.
no.
Well,
I
hey,
love
it works, bro.
I love it.
It's good to see you.
I'm trying to get out there.
You're doing
What
good.
well, what do you want to get out, Glenn? What brought you in here other than just to sit here and mess with my my show?
My personal beliefs, but I don't want to impose that right now.
No,
But,
go right on ahead, man. We
I
love
like
that.
Will. I like you.
I win. How'd you find this show? I'm not a normal gentleman who comes on here all the time. This is the captain's show. What brought you over to the FN Hangout? Have you been watching for a long time?
Absolutely.
Oh, hell yeah. Excellent.
For years.
Oh, sweet. That's what's up, bro. You probably know RG3 longer than I do.
Probably not as long as the captain changed his appearance.
Oh, okay.
As he knows. But I'm doing a bad job.
No, you're
doing bro, everyone does the bad. Like, I would be surprised if I saw you show up to a basketball court having never played basketball and you're just start throwing free throws all day long. I'm like, this is unusual. Everyone sucks when they first begin, bro. It's no sweat.
True.
But
yep.
What's
You're
on your
doing
mind, Glenn? What's on your mind? Is there anything on your mind?
I just want to get out there and express myself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, welcome, bro. This is your first time on stream. We've popped the cherry. You got to write it down on your calendar now. Make a note of it.
What is it you're looking to express? You got an opinion on something? Something we've been talking about, maybe?
I'm doing a bad job here.
No, you're
doing just fine.
Is it possible that you guys talk for a little bit and I come up with an idea?
Sure. We've been just talking about macroeconomics, politics, how it affects crypto and the DeFi space, and what we think.
I did get to see Trump a few days ago.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you went and saw him?
Yeah.
Cool. Where was that at?
The Bitcoin conference.
Oh, you saw him at the Bitcoin conference. Oh, yep. Right on.
Very good.
So, how was the energy? What did you get from that experience? What was a takeaway? Like, what was your feeling for what he was saying up there? Did it resonate? Was he leaning into us with some passion? How did you feel?
He was kind of leaning into the Bitcoin community, but it sounded like he was kind of new to it.
Well, we know that.
Fire Gary Gensler. Yeah. What did you think about that? Were you in the audience when he said those words?
Yep.
Oh man, what was?
Yeah, I walked up to the kind of into the middle where he was.
Yeah.
And the security was kind of pushing me back. He was kind of mean mugging me.
Yeah, Glenn, if I saw you coming up and I'm sorry, bro, but you would be like, you're right there on the edge of looking like you might have something underneath that coat. You know what I mean?
I might have. I didn't, but I might have.
Oh man, you gotta be careful with that stuff, Glenn. Oh man,
let's look around. Might have something.
Well, you do have that look, so be careful, man. Be careful.
Thank you, sir.
Did you have a favorite part of the Bitcoin conference? Was there something that stood out more than the rest?
I looked into the developers type of the conference.
Okay, excellent. Have you done development work before? Are you have you ever messed around with code or computers or things? Is that your forte?
Yeah, I've got a few Bitcoin miners over there.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah, bro. I bet it gets hot as hell in that room then. Holy smokes.
How are those things? How do those things work out for you?
It worked for a while, actually. I don't know
Very
if you can see them, but
you said work.
They're like
with a D.
4 U servers with GPUs in each one.
You said worked. Are they still working for you?
No.
Ah, okay.
That's the gold. That's the magic word. That's the magic word.
They used to, because
what, the first few months you had them, first 6 months?
no, not it was a few years.
Okay, well, good on you.
What I imagine the price of electricity got too expensive after a while, and the machines.
I really
weren't
didn't
turning
care
out.
about electricity,
Yeah.
but I had GPUs in maybe 8 servers
Okay.
and ran those for several years.
Mm-hmm. Very good. I've got a buddy of mine, Mr. Gabriel. I'm not sure if you know him. A lot of the miners know each other, so forgive me
Right.
if I'm presuming things. But I have a
Oh,
buddy
go ahead.
Gabriel, and he and his brother were like some of the first dudes to start using the ASICs. So shout out to Gabriel, who's a good friend of mine. I met up with him recently,
Oh yeah.
and we were hanging out, and he was talking about how, like, when the ASIC miners first came out, him and his brother basically like created the prototype like silicone chips for all that stuff, and it was super cool. And then they got bullied around by, CIA, FBI, big government 3-letter agencies, shit of that nature. And the long and short of it is they got out of the mining business and went in to do other stuff. So what was the thing that stopped you from doing the mining? Did it get boring? Like what was the reason that you don't do it anymore?
Right. I did the mining for a while, and I got into the ASICs after the mining because it was more efficient.
Yep.
And I blew out my AC running the heat through it.
Oh man, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Computers get hot, man. Whenever machines are running, they get freaking hot.
So I had 2 of those going through the AC unit.
Uh-huh.
And that was pretty much it.
Okay.
And then all the gains went to buying you a new AC.
Yeah. I think it was one of the new coins that came out in January. I forget the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Well, Bitcoin mining is not profitable, especially here in this country. Electricity is too expensive.
Absolutely, RJ.
You can't get cheap power, and you can't get the mining pool preparation. Anyway, you can't get in the mining pools. If you're not in the mining pools, forget about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the mining pools for a while, but
and that's a centralized, organization, right? A mining pool is a centralized deal. So why the whole Bitcoin mining thing doesn't make sense to me, and why they can still run around and talk about that like it is something, like it belongs in crypto, like it is crypto, like it means something. It baffles me. It baffles me. When we have what we have, like, I'm sorry, but I've got a validator over here that takes no power. Like, the damn thing is like just on. That's it.
I've got a validator over there.
Right?
Yep.
And you're probably doing better on your validator than you've ever done on those big, expensive, power-sucking ASICs miners.
Yep.
Ooh,
And
do you
didn't
mind?
burn out your AC.
Do you mind if I shout out the DGen protocol validators, Cap?
Yeah, you go right on ahead. DGen protocols are always
for the folks at home who don't know, the cats over at the DGen protocol, Crypto Black Sheep and Dev Donnie and shoot, I can't remember the other guys over there, but the DGen protocol guys, they partnered up with David Feeder, who's basically been doing all of like the validator stuff for PulseChain, and they created an NFT system. So like you guys can buy portions of like you can buy up to like 1/64th of a validator by spending 500 pulse or 500,000 pulse, excuse me, and you get 1/64th of a validator, and it cranks out. You get 80% of the rewards from the validator. The other 20% goes to like pay the protocol, pays David Feeder for like the maintenance and the upkeep of the actual validator over at his house or his server farm or wherever he has the actual physical hardware that he takes care of.
Yep.
But yeah, it's basically like cloud validating, and all you do is you buy an NFT, and then it cranks out rewards for you, and then you get to keep them. So shout out to those cats over there. I've got
Yep.
I think like several PulseChain validators just by buying a crap ton of their NFTs all up, and then like I'm essentially running like a semi-centralized, you know, validator node thing. But yeah, like people having like you RG3 having your own validator in your room, and then you Glenn having yours as well. Like that shit's fucking kick ass, man. Like I love this. I love the validator system as opposed to the mining system, and just
I mean, it's
crazy.
awesome how it's decentralized.
Yeah, and you can put, you know, you can put 10, 20, 30, 40, 100, 1,000 validators on one machine. You know,
Yep.
it's just, you know, if you put the pulse up, you can pull the validator.
Yeah.
And then I like I think that we don't speak enough about validating, you know, on top of Hex and staking Hex. I think the next best thing, other than, you know, providing liquidity, which is very risky for a lot of people if you don't know what you're doing, validating is important. I think that, you know, validating is what mining should have been.
Yes.
And validating is cheap right now, especially if you can buy pieces of it, like from Project Pi or the DGen protocol. Those two are both doing the same thing, getting you pieces of validator, so you don't have to put the 32 million up.
Yep.
And
But
I'm able to teach people how to do it on their own.
Oh, nice.
there you go. Well, there's something that you can do and talk about is showing people how to set up validators and put those to use. Because right now, validators are cheap.
Yep.
And one day they're not going to be. And I'm not talking about the equipment. Like the equipment for a validator costs you about $2,000, something like that. But so will
Probably
the
roughly
pulse
the
to put
same
into
for
it.
the pulse. Yeah. Yeah. So you're
Yeah,
looking
so-
at like 4K to start, and then you can stack as many like validator
Nodes.
like
Node.
nodes. Yes, thank you. You can stack as many validator nodes in those things as you can fucking fit. Unless like, you know, you're going into the thousands, then you might have to buy multiple machines. But like realistically, these things are kick ass.
And here's the cool thing is, as
100
your
plus
validator
per
starts to
machine.
make pulse, you can roll that pulse back into the validator and just keep building validators on top of
Yep.
it. And you're just basically printing money. You're printing money.
Compounding.
And
Yeah.
it's great. And you're part of the system. You know, if being staked in Hex is being part of the system, then, you know, being a validator is being part of the PulseChain system. And, you know, if you really want to be in DeFi, if you truly want to be in DeFi, then you're providing the network value by being a Hex staker and a validator in PulseChain at whatever capacity, whether it's pieces of it or a whole validator or whatever. Yep. You're part of the system, you know. And then, you know, I like to think of liquidity providing as like a cherry on top, or a riskier asset or a riskier investment class within the ecosystem. And that's for big boys and girls. And you should make sure that you are one before you get involved in that stuff. But these other two things, staking Hex and validating, two very simple things that you can do to be part of the system.
Yep. I like that. That's a good pitch. And it also like it encouraged you to be more like long-term mindset focused and to like be actually engaged in what it is. Cause like if people buy a coin, they could sell the coin. If you start up a validator, if you spin up a validator, or if you like spin up a Hex stake, like you're stuck in that process for at least a short period of time. I know that like if you want to unlock your validator, it's like a not a 7-day wait, but it's like there's a process to get the
Yep, absolutely.
spin it down or something like that and extract the pulse out of it. So it's like it's the more that you invest in the system, the more that you care about the system, the more you are likely to increase the system's total value by not being like a net seller or a net negative or something like that. Happiness will not be found in mining. This is good.
Consider counseling and opening up your mind with meditation. Swearworks says, Swearworks, you going to go hang out at Burning Man with me? Did you sound like a burner to me, man, with that mind meditation opening stuff? Come on. Let me know if you're going. I'll be there. Love to meet with you. Centurion, what's up? Centurion 54.
Hell yeah.
Up to you,
That's
man. What's up?
That's our buddy Kenturian, our OG farmer, hanging out, tilling the crops and baling the alfalfa and doing all the kick-ass stuff.
Centurion, strike him to the ground. You remember that? You guys?
Oh, is that Monty Python?
Yeah.
Yep.
The one guy with the lisp.
Oh, the Life of Brian. I think.
Life of Brian.
Yeah, dude.
Centurion, strike him to the ground.
That's a good fucking movie. Man, I haven't seen that in a minute.
Yeah, those are some good ones to go back and watch. Holy Grail, Life of Brian, all of those. Jabberwocky, all those movies are good.
Oh man, the Jabberwocky.
That one was great. So anyway, so mining, no longer mining. Validating, now you're validating. Great, Glenn. And you want to tell people how to do so. I think that's a worthy cause. I think that is. Yeah, Fast Abdul said Monty Python is older than Will. I think Monty Python, half of them were dead when Will was born.
They're still, well, some of them
John
are still
Cleese, I think John Cleese might have just died recently too. I'm not sure.
Oh no. Dang.
He might be alive still. He may be alive. I'll have to look at
Eric Idle's probably still alive. Yeah, you're correct though, Fast Abdul. Monty Python is older than me. I was born in 93, so there's many things that have happened before I was around. You know, I didn't get much to say
my whole life.
Process.
I got clean in 94.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I sobered
this
up
is the way it works.
That's funny. Like,
is that a story you want to talk about?
What's that?
Getting clean.
Oh, I've talked about that many times. I mean, I don't tell war stories.
Right.
You know, back in 94, I changed my life and stopped doing stupid things to myself and to everybody around me, you know, and it's been,
I've done stupid things myself. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So I stay away from talking about all of those things and glorifying them and you know, war stories, but I do talk about, you know, the stuff that the good stuff that it's brought and what it's how it's
focus on the positive,
who I am, you know, and then how I help others through, you know, my experience on a regular basis, guys that are coming in trying to figure it out, trying to get themselves fixed up and cleaned up themselves. And just try and give them my strength and my experience and what I've been through, you know, to help get them on the right track. And some listen, some don't. And that's just like anything, you know, some people, you know, the thing for me that opened my eyes was when I discovered that I can grow and learn from other people's mistakes, not just mine. And that was like,
that's a big thing.
Mind blower. Like, wait a minute. You've been through that, this, and that, and I can take direction from you and not have to do that in order to learn. Because I was one of them hard-headed motherfuckers. I had to learn by getting my ass beat by something. You know, something had to.
A lot of us are.
Yeah, and when I finally discovered that, and I got hooked up with some good mentors and some people that cared and wanted to give me a hand up and not a handout. That's when I did, like, my whole life changed. Like, it went into hyperdrive. It's like having your own AI right there. You know, I had people telling me not to do that, not to make that mistake. And so that's what I like doing is talking to, you know, younger men that are doing the things that I used to do and helping them not make the same mistakes I made so that their life can move forward a little easier and faster.
You got to give them the tools that they have to, they got to be the ones to choose it, but you can give them the tools and show them the instructions and like, this is how you used it best and all that good stuff. I like it.
Look at this. The producer is on it. Going to try and bring Jeff Berwick to the show. Right on, King. Good luck, man. Whatever you need, let me know. And love to get him on the show.
Who's Jeff Berwick?
He is a crypto bro.
Hell yeah.
He's an old school crypto bro.
We got Moondog talking about your recent stuff and his comment about serenity, courage, and wisdom. Captain is the giving tree. And courage.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Okay. Captain is the giving tree. Let's put that up because it's such kind words. Serenity, courage, and wisdom. Captain is giving tree and encouragement, literally minting courage in our community via modeling. Oh, I like that. Thank you, Moondog. And gosh, I hope so. I mean, sometimes the low the low intellect, not the low intellect. What would be the word?
Low information.
A low information Hexican, doesn't appreciate it and comes at me sideways and says stupid shit.
There's always going to be people on different spots in the journey when they come over here to the Discourse Syndicate. Like I look at a lot of things like people like somewhere between 0 and 10,000 hours, right? If they don't know jack shit about Hex and they're coming up to this stream and they're at the 0 to 1 hour mark of information, like what can they gain from watching the stream, from listening to us talk? Like, are they going to learn some resources? Like, hey, go run over to Hex Scout or go run over to Crispy Man's hexfire.io. Like go run over to Coast and learn about on-ramping. Go hop on Twitter and just type in hashtag Hex and read through a whole bunch of people's hate and love and things. Go to gopulse.com. Like then there's going to be people that they've got like 100 hours of experience in the thing, and it's like now you're talking to them about like how to do stakes and how to like provide liquidity and do other things. Then you've got the cats that are in at the 1,000 hours of experience, and they're talking about like, oh, I need to wait for the price of Icosa to hit the ceiling so that way I can then sell my Hex stakes to the market so I can go back and buy more Hex and then restake that out Cuatro Cinco and arbitrage the value of like Icosa down to be even with Hex and make it super valuable and kickstart the HSI auctions. And you got people at like the 5,000 hours level of information. They're talking about like, oh, I'm going to go to Burning Man so I can hang out and set up a whole bunch of tech stuff and, go meet up with cool people. Or I'm going to start a PulseChain tour or whatever. Oh, by the way, you're doing, have you guys talked about the new one for next year, the PulseChain conference at all?
Yeah. So it's it's going to be the 369 PulseChain conference in Vegas. And, of course, KC, Black Hexican, SJ, CZ, RCZ, not the CZ of Bitcoin, but RCZ or Binance, I should say. And they're going to be putting together a golf tournament. We're going to have I think we need to call it more of a convention, not a conference. It's a convention. So we're going to have a convention in Vegas once a year. We'll do it, do as much as we can for PulseChain, bringing content, bringing other projects that have been built, that kind of thing. More of a PulseChain focused conference, but of course, talking about all things RH and everything's being built on his chain. But by the way, real quick, Crypto King, go ahead and boost his post, everybody, on Twitter. He's trying to get Mr. Berwick to come hang with us. And if you guys go and comment on it and put some action in there, might help him out to getting that done. He's like he's involved in the Anarchapello or whatever, the what do you call them? He's the dollar vigilante guy. They do anarcho-capitalists is what they are.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what they do, and he's one of those. He leans into Bitcoin, gold, silver, that kind of stuff, and good people to talk to. He's like-minded like us. Oh, I'm sorry, we got somebody here in the backstage. I'm sorry, Dr. H. What's happening? Didn't see you there.
Hey guys, I've just been working on my stuff. I thought you must have seen me and just ignored me, but that's okay. I understand.
We found you now.
Yeah, nice to see you guys. And thanks a lot for the shout outs last week. I had my channel is growing really steadily, which is nice.
Good.
The Richest Man in Babylon is the current one that I'm working on, and I've had some ideas for other stuff as well, which I'll share a bit later.
Hell
Yeah. So thanks a
Well,
lot for
you
the
did
shout
a
out last week. And thank you,
good
Will,
job.
because Will was actually really key. You were the first person on my stream.
you did a good stream, man, talking about oh man, I can't remember the dude's name now. Oh shoot, the guy who wrote The Richest Man in Babylon.
Klassen.
Yeah,
Klassen.
George
He
Classen.
was
That's
he
right.
was the author of
Yep.
of The Richest Man in Babylon.
You had him on the show?
No, I was
no, he's
listening
been
while I was
been dead
yeah.
since 53.
Yeah, hasn't
So
he
he
been
was
dead
well.
for like 60, 70 years?
Yeah, 53, actually just under 68 years. Because
Yeah.
I don't know, well, you guys probably know the copyright law expires after 70 years after someone's death. So I'm kind of on the cusp with what I'm doing, but I'm just hoping he doesn't come back from the grave.
His
I'm
organization.
willing to bet that you'll be close enough to the mark that people will probably not. Now, if you were doing this at like the 50 or the 60 year, then you might be in a small peck of trouble. But like realistically, you're
We'll
gonna
see.
be okay,
We'll
bro.
see. Let's not say any more about that.
Yep. Yeah,
But
you're
yeah,
right. But it was a great stream, bro. It was good stuff. I learned a lot about that cat that I had no idea of, and I'm failing to recall anything that happened, but I remember I had a good time watching it.
Oh, he was yeah. Well, you guys can watch it. Just go on my channel at the at Crypto H, or you'll see it. The Richest Man in Babylon. I got a whole bunch of things coming up, and sorry, Cap. Obviously, I'm gonna show myself because I've got it behind me. I can't fail. Richest Man in Babylon, Chapter 3. It's actually the 7 cures for a lean purse. So if your purses are feeling lean, come and find out some cures. There are 7 of them.
Ooh, I like that you have the stream times. That's clever. I'm gonna add that actually to my background here when I get a moment. You got your stream times on the side there,
right?
And like the place to find you. That's clever.
That's actually on my thumbnail. So this is just my thumbnail. So
obviously, yeah.
And I've actually got my the proverbial poop in one sock, and I've actually set it up. So if you guys want to register now for it on Sunday, it's on Sunday. You can go there right now.
Right on. Well, I'm always backing people who are putting self-help stuff out. Richard has a self-help book, with SciVive, and SJ's read it, and it's on all over YouTube, and it's free, and you can go get it. But look, this community is made up of volunteers. We're all volunteer army. Nobody gets paid to do what we do, and it behooves of us to better ourselves, to read these things, to get wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the world around us through these. A lot of them are old works. Like I said, there's nothing new under the sun. All this shit still works. And there may be somebody, if you read SciVive, I've read 100 self-help books, and Richard's SciVive is pieces of all those. Richard's not saying anything new. There's nothing new under the sun. He's put it together in Richard Hart's fashion through the time-tested wisdom in the world and the things that are good to the world. Richard's done that and wrote a book about it. But all these things say the same things. All say the same things. There is nothing new under the sun. What is old is new again. All of these things are just, unfortunately, we have to be reminded all the time. But being reminded is the thing. And we need to always remind ourselves what's out there and what really makes the world a better place. Go ahead, Glenn.
I have an idea of making a SciVive Part 2.
Ooh, do tell.
Basically, all our ideas that aren't in SciVive. That's basically it.
Well, first of all, SciVive is Richard's. He's the one who wrote that. So for us to write,
it's a good start. But there are other things that we can add to it.
Of course. Well, you can make your own book. Probably leave Richard to doing his thing, but writing your own book and putting your own stuff.
If he wants to add more, he can. But
of course,
I think the community can add more to it.
Richard's a young man. I would imagine that as the years go by, I can imagine Richard 10 years from now. I could imagine he's going to write himself another book by the time 10 years comes up, because that man's life,
probably so.
That man's life over the next 10 years is going to be amazing. The guy he is, the brain he has, the value he's worth, the space that he's in, the cutting edge of the 21st century. Finally, we might be able to get into it. If the fucking old guys would get out of our way and let us get into the goddamn 21st century. We've been, how long have we been in the 21st century? We're still trying to go back to the 50s, 40s, 1880s. What the hell is that all about? Richard, I think, is into the next 10 years is going to have so much more to add to the world, so much more to give. He's going to be such a different person. And have been through so much more over the next 10 years. You know, we're sitting here in real time looking at a man like just coming out of his into his own, you know, in the prime of his life, with the knowledge, wisdom, and value that he has, what he's going to do. I'm so excited and stoked to be able to watch and see what he's going to do. It's going to be amazing to watch it. And I can't wait, because there isn't too many people that I've seen out there, politics, sports, self-help, that have the ability and the positioning to do stuff like Richard can do. I mean, it's going to be really cool to see. Now, trust me, I mean, I've been around some great mentors and some people in my life that I know done amazing things, you know, but being able to watch Richard grow and morph and develop into something that he's capable of with the mindset that he has, man, we haven't seen the best of Richard Hart yet. I think everybody needs to realize that we have not seen the best of Richard Hart yet.
It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, it is.
And then we're going to all go into battle. Who are you going to take? Who are you going to take into this battle that Richard Hart is leading us towards?
Battle.
So I'm
like a proverbial battle. I'm probably not a literal battle.
I'm still looking, because I've been in this fight with a lot of people that I'm looking down at the bottom of the hill right now going, hey guys, there's still a machine gun up at the top of this thing that we got to go get to.
I got something back here.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's get out. Let's get back up this hill and get this done. I'm still looking for the true leaders in this community that are going to move it forward. And that's, you know, that's a long vetting process. Like in my culture, we take about 5 years to look at people before we really, really trust them with the deep stuff. You know, there's definitely some people in this community that are doing well. But we ain't there yet. We still got a ways to go. So I'm still looking to see who's going to end up at the end of this thing with all of us.
I see what you're saying.
So in a battle, into any battle, I'm going to take my values. I don't know if you're talking about a real person or just some equipment to take. Captain was talking about getting prepared. And he already said that he's got his plans sorted out for when things go sideways. So for me, I've always been principle. I always talk about principles. So just underline. So for me, gratitude every day, just trying to see things that I'm grateful for. That's my biggest principle and my personal value anyway. Obviously, these books I'm looking at now, Richest Man in Babylon, all of these books, they're ancient. They're like 200, not ancient, sorry. These aren't ancient. This is the 20s. They're 140 pages, but they always have 3 or 4 main principles in them that are just repeated throughout. And one of my early mentors was an expert in speed reading. And he said the whole idea of getting through a book is get through as quickly as possible and rip the information out. So not have like a big library behind you full of posh books. That's no bloody use to anyone. But what you want is pages. Yeah, exactly. It's just like paper. But you want to be extracting the info. Obviously, we can do that with books. We can do that with our YouTube videos on two times the speed or 1.5 times the speed. We can do it from movies. We can do it at seminars. You know, we can sit down knee to knee with a mentor. That's one of my big things. Find a mentor in your area, someone that's doing something you like, even if it's not within crypto, but it might be someone that's done something that you want to do or is somewhere that you want to be. That is, I talk about that in one of my videos that's coming out shortly. One of the 10 commandments of cryptocurrency, which is get yourself a mentor. So there's loads of places you can extract information, but what you're after is those principles that resonate with you. And when they resonate with you, write them down somewhere or record them somewhere. And then it just gives you a whole new level of confidence. So for me, I know my main value is gratitude. So every morning I get up, I get down on my knees, I give thanks for 10 different things in my life. So I do that every day, and that just sets me up for the day. And I know, you know, I don't have to think. I just get out, land on my knees, give thanks, and then I'm off. So I know I've started the day positively, even if the rest of the day goes to crap. I've started it well. And that's my bit. That's how I'm going to war.
That's
how I'm going into action, whatever that action may be.
One of the things you said resonated with me, but it also came with some instruction that I think, wow, this generation really needs this advice. Is you know, it's one thing to look for a mentor. It's one thing to go and find teachers or to learn, but it's another thing to be open. And I don't see a lot of that. You know, I see a lot of disrespect for wisdom. I see a lot of disrespect for, you know, people with knowledge that have been experienced. And you've got to be open in order to receive the good stuff. Like when a mentor gets called on and they see somebody who's open, that's not just trying to snatch some knowledge off them or whatever. Hey, teach me how to let go to your pride. Hey, teach me about, you know, this or whatever. When somebody's really open to learn about life in general, things, that's when the mentor shows up, when you're open. So focus on opening yourself up to that. If you are, you know, in that position looking for somebody, we all should. I'm always learning. And I learned from some of the younger guys too. From some of you younger people have taught me a shit ton. You know, you guys have mentored me in a lot of things. I didn't know a lot about crypto, and I had to learn about the things that Richard was teaching us in detail. And a lot of you guys helped to teach me that. So you can learn from anybody, but you got to be open and willing to accept it.
Yes, that's a slice of humble pie to eat right there. Cap is learning from people that we would consider, like, all other things being equal, that we would consider to be like to know less than us. But it's like an old dog can learn new tricks if it opens its mind up to it. You know, it takes a lot of humility to be able to do that.
And really not a bunch, you know, as you move on, as you start to get older, for instance, like you guys, Richard, you guys are in 30s, your 40s, 57 years old. I could be just as, I've got a lot of friends that are closed off. They're not going to listen to anybody younger than them, but you guys have all taught me so much, you know, and not only about crypto and things that I want to learn about and culture and you know, where your guys' heads are at so that I can adjust and move in this world as an older man in a younger man's space. But also to, you know, to find out who you guys really are, being open to it and, you know, and listening to where, your guys' wisdom is coming from, what you guys are learning, what the world is teaching you guys, because you guys are growing up and developing in a different world than I came from, you know? So you guys, so I have to adjust to that too, somehow, some way, in order to fit in. So you guys have had different experience than like myself and the cryptopractor here. We've had a different experience than you guys, and learning. You know, I see a lot of guys my age doing it too. Oh, these fucking kids and blah, 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 and they don't know shit, and the millennials and the this and the that. And it's like, well, wait a second. You know, don't forget, you know, it's our fault how these people are coming into the world. You know, the world that we created for them, they're just, you know, growing up in their environment. They're just, you know, they're just a product of the environment that we created, you know. What are you doing to help that or to understand that, you know? And I think that's as the older generations are getting younger, like, man, I look at people, you know, in the 80s that were on television that were my age. They look like old motherfuckers. They look like some old ass dudes, like 57, like you were dying grandpa. I don't look like that. That's not what I look like. I'm healthier than a lot of them were. I'm, you know, I go to the gym, I'm in shape, I'm taking care of myself, I eat right, I take my supplement, all this stuff. I'm going to probably live a lot longer than these folks. So our generations need to learn how to function with each other. And that means reciprocation. It's not just about, hammering people and calling them wet behind the ears and all this stuff. It's about reciprocation, you know, and that's kind of what I was talking about being open. It has to be open on both sides. We have to be open to learning from each other. And I think that's one of the messages that doesn't get out there. And we, you know, the world's having a hard time with that because we're all getting bunched together. Like it's no longer an older generation and a younger generation. Now there's like 4 generations all operating together, you know, with different thoughts, different environments they grew up in, all that kind of stuff. So we got to figure out how to work together.
The great melting pot.
The great melting pot of generations.
I think it's an awesome point that you made there, Captain. I've been having so much trouble the last 4 years recruiting staff, and it's so easy to say, oh, it's because like this, it's because of that, it's because of the age, it's because of, and I do hate that categorizing as because my kids are officially like Gen Zs and then I'm a Gen X, and I'm just like, well, we're fucking human beings, frankly. But we've been brought up in different times. One of the books that I'm going to get to is called The Prophet. It's one of the most beautiful books around. If you want to get some principles or just have an idea of some beautiful principles, beautiful ideas, I can highly, highly recommend that. But one point it talks about is basically this, he's given wisdom on different sections of life, which is really nothing to do with like money can't affect these sort of things. It's like marriage, it's children, it's love, those sorts of things. But when he talks about children, he says, your children are not your children. They come through you, but not from you.
Yeah. Ooh, that's good.
And it goes on to say, you can visit their home, but you cannot stay in it because they live in the land of tomorrow that you cannot even visit, not even in your dreams. And that's just saying they've been brought up at a different time where they're going to be in the future. You're not going to be here. Mm-hmm. And it's not a place that I can visit or even should feel that I can visit because they've got different experiences and it's a different time. You know, my time was when I was 14 when the very first home computer came out. And I was programming from a magazine there. And it took me 48 hours to move a dot across the screen with Sinclair Basic. So that's
on cassette tape on a Commodore 64.
Yeah, even before the cassette tape, it was the magazine. Yeah, I've got the PC World magazine. It's actually, if you check out what is crypto and what is the use of crypto, that's the video on my channel. It's got pictures of I don't know if you remember them, the magazines and the ZX.
Oh yeah, we were all getting. Was it Popular Mechanics that would come out with the programming that you could program and I remember
I was in the UK, so it was probably called something different, but same thing, same sort of time.
I remember we made tank pong, so you can the tanks couldn't move around, but they would go up and down and shoot at each other, you know, from each side.
Oh no, that was the advanced one. That was the 4-day programming.
Yeah.
And then if you make one mistake, that's it, you're screwed.
That's it.
Oh, anyway, I think Glenn remembers that as well. He's got a bit of a smile on his face or he's done it.
Yeah.
So anyway, but the point is that was our experience. But now people got different experience. They brought up without even knowing that there was a time when there wasn't computers. They can't conceive of a time when there wasn't computers. And that's okay. That's their experience. So I have a young girl that works for me and she touches a computer and everything's done in like 30 seconds. And then I've got someone that's a little older than me that works for me. She takes 4 or 5 goes to do something very simple on the computer. But once she's got it, and she's consistent. Whereas the other girl is really, really quick, but makes loads of mistakes. So we just got to know the strengths and the weaknesses. And like you say, put together a team that's all different ages. I think that's where the real power lies. And just try not to let these, he's an old bastard or they're just stupid young whatevers. Try not to let that get in the way. Because when it does, it builds a barrier right there. But anyway, that's my 2 pence.
You'd said The Prophet by
that's Khalil. Yeah,
Khalil Gibran.
I put that in the private chat so I don't forget. All right, sweet.
I'll tell you another beautiful one, and Moondog brought it up. One of my favorite books of all times is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho.
Oh yeah, that's classic.
One of the best ever self-help books, or just one of those books that gets you back up. Like especially if you're in the bottom of this bear market, read that book, guys. Read that book. This is like, and another good one for bear market is 3 Feet from Gold. Gosh, he's the author of that. That one will hit me in a minute. But Paulo Coelho, I'm going to read this one. I have not, believe it or not, I have not read this book, The Prophet. I am.
Oh, this is phenomenal. Yeah. So I actually think you hit a really, really sound point just there, Captain. I know people, I mean, I don't use Twitter too much. I mean, if you want to contact me through X, you can, but I don't really look at it. I know obviously everyone's saying, oh, it's terrible. You go to X and everyone's slagging on each other. And how about this? I mean, I know in the bear market, you're meant to be creative. One of these sorts of times, even if it is a bull market in theory, we should still be creating. If we're going sideways, we should be creating, we should be reading, we should be learning and encouraging others to do the same. So, and that way, you've already said that time is the most precious thing. I mean, as long as you've got time, you can make money. But I believe very much in the idea of what I call layering. People call it different things. But in other words, while time is running on, the time is going to pass. So you better make sure you're doing something constructive, something that adds value to your life. So be it reading books, checking out Audible, like whatever it might be, finding a favorite YouTuber that's not necessarily crypto, but you're learning something. And at the end, you think, yes, I feel cleverer. That's what we should be focusing on doing, and encouraging others to do it rather than slagging on each other, because there's no value there at all.
The time is being spent, whether you choose to invest it wisely or waste it away. Those coins are leaving the container.
Excellent. Yeah. And I actually, I don't know if I ever told you this, Captain. I know we met in Vegas. We hung out a bit. I retrained to be a chiropractor at the age of 46. All right. And it took me 16 years to become a chiropractor. But I also heard what Will said. Someone said the time is going to pass. You've got a choice. Either you're training to be a chiropractor, the time is going to pass, whether you're training to be a chiropractor or not. So sometimes when you look at these goals and you think, oh my God, it's 6 years away. How can I possibly last 6 years? Just remember, the time is going to pass anyway. You just get in there and do the work in the meantime, and at the end you'll have something to show.
The work.
Let me say something real quick to my my good buddy and Toby Basher, Ross. He said, I've had hard enough time reading the comment in the chat. Ross, check this out, bro. Like, I have like the worst ADHD. Like, I pick up a book, I read like a half a page, I fall asleep, or really something more important to do. But Audible, like, you can stick headphones on. All these books are on Audible now. You can go in there. Yes. Subscription is like $14 a month, which is like a book, but you can end up getting like 3 books with the credits that you get. Sometimes you'll get free books and all this kind of stuff, or they'll discount them. You get, extra credits and blah, blah, blah. But I'm telling you, Audible is, I've got my headphones on all the time, listen to books. Sometimes I'll listen to a book over and over and over. Like The Alchemist, I'll listen to that once a year. How to Win Friends and Influence People, once a year. Like there's some books that you just got to listen to. You got to get back in your head to put them into action, the things in them into action. Like, if you haven't read How to Win Friends and Influence People and you don't put that in your life every single day, that book right there can make the world a better place. If people are just putting those principles and concepts into play as often as they can in their life. It has changed my life, literally, that book. And it's an old book, like back from the 30s, 40s, whatever it was. But it's time-tested principles that work, and it's good stuff. You got to get in some of those books. Thoughts, Child, you coming in? Let me put the.
And of course, Captain, you can always go to my channel and listen to The Richest Man in Babylon right now, completely free. And there'll be a whole collection of them soon.
Yep.
It's right there on his channel.
Chapter 1, Chapter 2, and a chapter on the author are already there. Chapter 3 on Sunday at 12 noon Eastern.
And don't forget, a Wild SJ has, and we've got the link in the description that you can go and listen to Richard Hart's Sci-Vibe, which is a conglomeration of Richard's takes on a lot of these time-tested principles. So they're all there too.
Well, on the subject of welcoming Thaschild Rockwilder in, I'm going to be popping out because it's getting pretty close to my bedtime. Gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you, Captain. It's always great to come on here and shoot the shit and talk about stuff. Mr. Proctor, are you doing another stream analysis thing this Sunday? coming
Oh
up?
no, I'm doing another chapter, 12 o'clock Sunday.
Okay.
It's going to be
Excellent.
chapter 3, 7 cures for a lean purse.
Okay.
7 cures for a lean purse.
Excellent.
So
I like it. All right,
nice
Sunday, 12 o'clock. I'm going to make sure to set an alarm on my phone. Glenn, it was nice to meet you, brother. Everyone, take care and have. I highly recommend you guys, if you haven't heard of the DGen Roundtable, come check us out at youtube.com/@DGen Roundtable. We go live every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. My God, I need to get a little thing right here, just like what you got. I like it. Captain, thanks for having us on. Everyone, you all have a wonderful night. I wish you all the best, and we'll chat with y'all later. Peace.
Thanks for coming, Will. We'll see you, bud. You guys are killing it.
Thanks for the
all right.
Johnny Super.
So,
Thanks for the
Glenn and so CryptoPractor, Dr. H, why don't you go ahead and let everybody know exactly where they, I know you've said it a few times, but let them know where they can go, what you got going on. That way I can go ahead and shut the stream down. Because I know Glenn doesn't have a whole bunch to say here. I'm going to let him say something. What's that?
Yeah, so sorry, I thought you had someone else coming on. Yeah, so
child might, but I'm waiting to see.
Yeah, so my YouTube channel is at the CryptoPractor, YouTube /at the CryptoPractor, and there's a bunch of stuff on there on chiropractic. It's all Hex related. It's all Richard Hart products related. So if you guys would share it around. Now, the whole point of it is to reach out to people outside the community, because there's people looking for principles. So send it to your folks that aren't interested in crypto, but they are interested in financial ideas. And I'm going to obviously seed, Hex, PulseX, all those good RH products. I don't promote any other coins or anything else like that. That's me.
There you go. That's how we do it. Those are the coins that we promote. Everything that's built on Richard Hart's ecosystem is suspect, everybody. Suspect. Even stuff that I may build or anybody else around here that really seems like awesome guys may build. They are all suspect. Don't go buying them unless you know what you're doing. Stay away from the meme coins. Look at the utility tokens maybe later, and things have proven themselves. But other than that, the core coins are where it's at if you're investing. But that's not financial advice. That's wise crypto advice. All right. Glenn, you got any last words? I'm still waiting for you.
All right. Thank you for having me on. I'm basically talking about Hex coins and self-help things. So that's about it.
Good job.
I appreciate you coming by, man. And
well done for your first stream.
You keep doing you. And
I appreciate you being cordial.
Yeah. Hey, look, man, we all started somewhere. We all wanted to get out in front of everybody somewhere. And it's not easy to do. It's not easy to get up here and expose yourself and try and say something intelligent, because say one wrong thing, and they're going to fucking dog you forever about it, man. Forever. And trust me, I've been doing this for so long. I've said a lot of wrong things. So, it doesn't matter anymore. But
thank you,
you
sir.
Look at where the source, where it's coming from too, because when it really comes down to it, I felt bad about people coming at me sideways sometimes for a little while. And then I was like, you know what? I've been called some really bad things until I've done some really bad things to some much better people. So it doesn't bother me coming from, the people that are saying these things to me, because I've done worse to better people. So anyway, thanks for coming, Glenn. Appreciate you sticking your neck out there and jumping in here.
Thanks, everybody. See you next time.
See you next time. Thanks for coming. We will catch you guys all on the next one. Thos, man, why don't you and I just do a stream, man? Get in here and let's do a stream together. It's been so long. If you got time and whatnot, let's do a stream. I appreciate it. All right, guys. We'll see you.